All right, so you've tried SREF codes. You pop one in, hope for the best, and sometimes you can capture magic. But other times, it just feels like Midjourney just shrugs and does whatever it wants. That's because most people don't realize there are hidden ways to control SREF codes in ways Midjourney doesn't exactly spell out for you. And that's what we're going to talk about today. In this video, I'm breaking down 3 game-changing secrets that'll give you better control, sharper results, and way less frustration. And to prove it, we're using just one prompt, the one we've been using all along: young boy riding a bicycle, anxious expression. Here's what we're going to learn today: how to blend multiple SREF codes for hybrid styles, how to fine-tune SREF codes for a volume control, and also how SREF codes differ in both raw or standard modes. Most Midjourney users don't know these tricks, but after this, you will. So let's jump in. All right, let's start simple. We've got our base prompt: young boy riding a bike, anxious expression. And by the way, this could be any prompt that you might use. And you've seen images of what Midjourney gives us as a default image. Nice, but we know that we can make this better. Now, let's just add one SREF code to change the image. Think of an SREF code as like a filter. It influences the image's art aesthetic. Here, we're using SREF code 220-433-2794. Fantastic, right? But here's the thing. The secret is that you can use more than one of these if you just leave a space in the middle, and you can add another code. Here we're using 415-1937-337 with the first SREF code that we showed earlier. It's like adding a little more spice to your gumbo. Using these, we start blending styles together to create something really unique. And here's where it gets really interesting. Midjourney lets you use an unlimited number of SREF codes at one time. Here, we're using 5. But you should really stick to 2 or 3 SREF codes to blend at one time for a good rule of thumb. You might be surprised at what you can create. All right, so we've learned that stacking multiple SREF codes creates a hybrid style. Well, what if we want more control over how much each style influences the final image? Here's a trick that most people don't realize. When using more than one SREF code, you can adjust the strength of one of the SREF codes by adding : and a number like 2 or 3. This tells Midjourney to prioritize the style reference more heavily. And you can see that we've added it to the end here with : 2. You can also reduce the SREF code with a weight lower than 1, such as 0.5. Voila! Instant control. This allows you to use more or less of the SREF codes to influence the final image. And here you can see that we're using 0.5 as our style weight on 3 of the SREF codes. But wait, hey, there's more. Another way to control the power of SREF codes is with the style weight parameter, or --SW. Style weight strictly controls the volume of the SREF code. It's easier to understand because you adjust it by ranging the style weight from 0 to 1000. That's your volume knob. By the way, the style weight I seem to use the most is 60. So now let's talk about standard versus raw mode in images. All right, so let me ask you something. Have you ever used Midjourney's RAW mode? If you're like most people, you're thinking, wait, what's RAW mode? RAW mode lives right here in the control panel, and under mode, you just click the button to RAW, and then you can do anything in RAW mode, and I'll show you exactly what we're talking about. We've got our prompt already set up. Let's create some images. And let's go back and we'll switch it back to standard, and we'll be able to show you the difference. So RAW mode basically strips away all the beautification that Midjourney puts in, because Midjourney wants to create beautiful pictures. When you use RAW, it's just basically the prompt, and you get whatever shows up, right? And that's kind of an interesting thing here. So I don't know if you can tell the difference between these two, but it's kind of a thing, right? All right, at this point, you're basically an SREF code wizard. Now you know how to stack SREF codes, fine-tune their weight for precision, and unlock RAW mode for total style control. Honestly, you're kind of unstoppable now, but let's be real, now that you know this stuff, you're probably going to lose at least the next 3 hours experimenting with SREF code tricks. And honestly, I fully support that decision, but here's a warning. SREF codes may include improved images, creative addiction, and an inability to stop generating. If you found this video helpful, and I know you did, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next Midjourney deep dive. Want even more insider tips, community discussions, and exclusive AI image strategies? Join the Midjourney Experience community and newsletter. We drop expert tips, advanced techniques, and real-world case studies that don't make it to YouTube. Just click the link in the description. All right, that's it for this one. Now get out of here, start experimenting, and remember, don't let Midjourney boss you around. You're in control now.